But this was only a bandage. The fish had to be evacuated. I grabbed a large, clean plastic storage tub, my new intensive care unit. I filled it with fresh water, meticulously temperature matched and treated with dechlorinator. One by one, I netted my goldfish. My black moor, Nugget, usually a clumsy, playful soul, was listless. My young Ryukin Blinky was the most concerning, floating at the surface, unable to control her buoyancy, her tail pointing helplessly towards the sky. She was in critical condition. I gently placed them in the tub, their safe harbor. I added an air stone, the bubbles providing vital oxygenation. Then, I made a strategic decision. I went to my stable, established minnow tank, a thriving planted community. I removed one of its 2 sponge filters, a fully cycled, mature biological filter, and placed it into the hospital tub. I was borrowing an army of bacteria to protect my patients. The main tank was now a ghost town, a toxic crime scene. The minnow tank had just become a refugee camp, its defenses halved. Part 4, the second betrayal. But the nightmare was not over. As I replayed the disaster in my mind, I realized I had missed a crucial clue. When I had lifted the large 3-stage canister filter out of the tank to clean its sponges and tank water, a hidden avalanche of decay had occurred. From the underside of the filter, a thick sludge of old, uneaten food and fish waste accumulated over weeks in a dead spot, dislodged and settled on the substrate. My goldfish, ever opportunistic and always hungry, had immediately swooped in and devoured this rotting, toxic buffet. This was the true source of the catastrophic, off-the-charts ammonia spike. The tap water had crippled the filter, but this forgotten garbage had delivered the poison. And then, as if the water quality war was not enough, a new enemy emerged. The next morning I looked at Nugget, the black moor, in the minnow tank. His stress from the ammonia and the move had shattered his immune system. Overnight, his black and gold body was now dotted with 3 tiny, precise white spots, like grains of salt. Eek. The parasitic organism, Ichthyophthirius multifiliis, had found a vulnerable host. The free-swimming tomites were now in the water, seeking out all the fish. The crisis had just escalated into a war on 2 fronts. The strategy now split into 2 parallel, desperate campaigns. The first front, water quality. The main tank, now home only to 3 resilient Corydoras catfish, needed to be rehabilitated. I left the borrowed minnow tank filter inside it to help seed and speed up the recycling process. I began ghost feeding, adding a pinch of food to the empty tank each day to produce ammonia and feed the struggling bacteria, forcing them to multiply. The hospital tub for the Ryukin, Blinky, required a brutal, simple regimen. 50% water changes every single day, without fail. The goal was 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, 0 stress. I added a small amount of aquarium salt to aid her gill function and reduce osmotic stress. I did not feed her. Her system was blocked, and food would only make it worse. The second front, disease. I faced an impossible choice. Do I set up a second hospital tub for the IH-infected goldfish, stressing them further with another move? The answer was no. The parasite was already in the minnow tank's water column. To move the goldfish would be to abandon the minnows to the disease. I had to treat the entire minnow tank as a single infected unit. I reached for the white spot remedy, a powerful, harsh medication. The active ingredients, formaldehyde and malachite green, are the heavy artillery. They are effective, but they take a toll. They can harm delicate plants and even stress the beneficial bacteria I was fighting to protect. It was a calculated, necessary sacrifice. The plants might die, but the fish would live. To fortify the minnow tank against the medication and the increased waste load from 2 goldfish, I added a second spare sponge filter. It was a new recruit, a fresh surface for bacteria to colonize, a lifeboat for the ecosystem.